Okay, so this is a general reading for Heidi, and we're going to start with a little bit of white sage to cleanse the space and the cards. And we're going to invite our guardian angels, our ancestors, our spirit guides, God, the archangels, our higher selves, and any other beings that are for our highest, purest good to come in to this space. And we ask for your protection and for your guidance and for any advice or encouragement or information that you have for Heidi today. We're just cleansing the space. Excuse the cat sneezing, she has allergies. So, we want to thank our angels, guides, ancestors, God, and all of the Ascended Masters for their presence and for their divine inspiration and for leading and guiding the cards and the knowledge and the intuition that comes forth today. We ask that Heidi be open to receiving whatever it is that is for her, and acknowledge that not everything may resonate with her at this time, and that that's okay. These are simply general readings, which means that some things may apply today and some things may not, and to shelve anything that may not be pertinent to this day, and understand that if it doesn't resonate with you, it's okay to let that go. You do not have to take everything that everyone says as verbatim and for 100% for your future, as the future is always changing based on every decision, every action, every thought, every inaction, not just yours, but anyone that's surrounding you. And these things all change and make the future relative to those experiences. So we first thank that, and we're going to say that I have no connection with the cards that are being used other than that they are my cards. I have the Lightworker Oracle, I have the Wisdom Oracle, I have the Archangel Power Tarot cards, and I have the Whispering Woods Advice and Encouragement cards. So we're going to get started today and see what Spirit has for us at this time. And we're going to start with the Archangel Power Tarot. I do not draw cards myself. I tend to think that's my own energy. And so what I'm looking for are volunteers. That's what I call them, is volunteers. And sometimes they present in different ways. But we thank God and the divine for the inspiration to know the difference. And sometimes they come off one at a time, sometimes in multitudes. And if there's too many, we'll put them back in and ask for clarification. So. Feel free to fast forward through any shuffling. And what is it that Heidi needs to know or should know in this general reading for today? Most of these are new decks, and they are a little slick, especially these, because they have the gold on the side. They just make them a little more difficult to work with initially until they're broken in a little bit better. So we're just thanking the spirit guides for any information today for Heidi. sometimes if we don't get anything from a particular deck, I move on to the next deck because sometimes it has something to say, but it doesn't want to go first. That happened earlier today. It's thinking about it for sure. What do we have for Heidi today? Okay. We have the Two of Michael. It will all be better if you just make a decision. Over analyzing a problem, find a compromise. Yeah, that's too many. We're not going to take those. There were like 6 at once. Spirit guides for your inspiration, for your information for Heidi. Do you have any advice or information? What can you tell us for Heidi today? The Sun, Archangel Uriel. Life is wonderful. Thrive through the power of positive thinking and inspiring success. We're just going to take those because they keep popping out. There's 4 here. This could take a second. Okay, so you have a total of 6 cards here. So the first card is the Two of Michael. If you see the unicorns in the sun, in the sunset, possibly the sunrise. We also have the Sun here, and the Sun is always a good card. It's always positive. See if I can get you to see that very well. So the Sun, life is wonderful, thrive through the power of positive thinking and inspiring success. Then you have the Page of Ariel, reliable, clever, educated, balanced. An excellent opportunity will be offered to you. Scholarships or the pursuit of education, time to get to work. Now, sometimes that opportunity is something that you can learn, not necessarily in a job or another endeavor. Sometimes it's something that you're just interested in. It's not always in the literal sense. It can be, but it doesn't have to be. So the opportunity could be just being near a situation that you wanted to learn more about. It can be an internship. It could be anything that would be a passion that you're interested in. There's a lot of books and learning around, so that's definitely a call towards learning a new craft, a new trade, something of an opportunity somewhere. And we'll go over these cards a little bit more right now. I'm just giving you the general. So the Star, Archangel Jophiel, and I'm not sure I'm pronouncing the name right, a dream come true, believe in yourself, the end of a difficult situation. More positive. And the Page of Michael, truthful, perceptive, analytical, blunt. An exciting new challenge. You have what it takes to succeed. Review contracts or documents very thoroughly. So there's a storm on here. but he's got the key. This is talking about any contracts whether they be verbal contracts, written contracts, legal contracts, whatever contracts, contract of marriage, contract of understanding between partners, whatever this is pertaining to for you. It's just saying to look things over carefully, make sure that it's on the up and up. Be blunt and perceptive, be vigilant in looking these things over. You have what it takes to succeed. Okay. 10 of Ariel. There is so very much to be grateful for. Financial success and the promise of retirement. A rich and rewarding family life. So again, this is relative. Okay. So much to be grateful for. Financial success to one person is not the same financial success to another, but it is talking about some sort of success either in business or in dealing with your own finances, or perhaps an inheritance or some sort of money that you weren't expecting. It says the promise of retirement. So at some point, you may have a windfall of some sort. A rich and rewarding family life. And, when we talk about riches, that's the most important one. Money doesn't buy happiness. Okay, so we're going to go over these just a little bit more. And I'm going to start with Michael. And so the 2 of Michael is talking about it will all feel better if you make a choice. You're struggling in a decision. You're either overanalyzing the situation or hoping it will just go away. Your heart is in conflict with your mind, so you're avoiding making a choice. This can be exhausting and create unnecessary stress. Trust your ability to make a wise and intuitively sound decision. A solution is quite possible, but compromise will be necessary. Search for middle ground. Even a temporary fix will get things moving again. Not listening to your inner wisdom, spinning your wheels, suppressing your emotions could be another reason that this card comes up, okay? And that could be dealing with any decision. If you're thinking about changing occupations, if you're thinking about going to a different school, if you're thinking about stopping work to go to school, whatever you're going to do, you need to make a decision. But do so remembering to look over all the details, understand completely what the consequences are, be analytical, be perceptive, be truthful with yourself, not just with others, and make sure that if you have any contracts that you review them closely to make sure that everything is on the up and up. So we're going to go to the Sun, which is Archangel Uriel, and see what we've got there. So basically, and I've said this, the Sun is always positive, okay? Life is wonderful, great things are headed your way, and your plans will succeed beyond your wildest dreams. That's what the Sun normally means. Keep your thoughts and words positive. Don't do negative self-talk, okay? What you speak into existence is what you will receive. So if you're being negative, you're going to receive negativity because that's the vibration that you're working on. Okay, so raise your vibration, be positive, and keep a bright outlook. Make sure that you believe in yourself and those around you during this time. Archangel Uriel brings brilliant epiphanies to those who ask for his help, inspiring new ideas, lead the way to abundance and happiness. Public recognition or awards are also possible during that time. Happiness, a trustworthy relationship, understanding oneself, personal satisfaction. Uriel is known for brilliant ideas that can come in golden flashes of light related to the Sun, okay? He's also associated with emotional healing and understanding. So if you need to call upon Archangel Uriel whenever you're searching for a sunny disposition, you'll have success and exuberance because that's what he brings. Okay? Pardon me. So the page of Ariel. Page of Ariel is a minor, I believe, minor arcana. Let's see here. I'm pulling up the book for a little more inspiration on Ariel. So Ariel is talking about excellent opportunities that'll be offered to you. Educational interests should be pursued and scholarships are likely. Advice you can count on and solid solutions to your concerns will be offered. You may adopt a new interest or passion. Time to get to work, okay? A youth who loves to learn and enjoys academic challenges, someone who is happy to be alive and can see endless possibilities, that's reliable, clever, insightful, and balanced. Getting more education or training, ending procrastination, pursuing a new challenge. That's what this is about. And remember, it doesn't have to be a job. It can be education in any area that you have an interest in. But this is a possibility, okay? You also got the 10 of Ariel. And the 10 of Ariel is talking about having it all. There's so much to be grateful for. You're financially successful and you don't worry about money. Maybe it has to do with the education that you're looking at, possibly, and that the education helps to achieve this financial success so that you don't have to worry about money or how much you had to struggle in the past, perhaps, that you've worked to get where you are. Your family life has become one of the greatest blessings in your life. You may define family as your birth family, or perhaps you have a chosen family. Not every family is by blood. I personally have a lot of connections to people that are not blood related that I consider my family. So chosen family has bonds that are just as strong or stronger than blood sometimes, and keep that love and support around you. You understand what really matters, and from that knowledge comes peace. So happily ever after, community, family trees, long-term investments is what the 10 of Ariel is talking about, and that may come from that education. So we're going to look at the star here, and the star is talking about having great faith and hope. The star shines in the heavens as inspiration and as an affirmative sign to you that your plans can be viewed with enthusiasm and confidence, and even though you experience some challenges sometimes, that you can rest assured that your difficulties will quickly fade into the past. There is a light at the end of the tunnel, and it's not necessarily an oncoming train. Hopefully that's not too dark for you. The most important element for your success is believing in yourself. Archangel Jophiel can help you see how beautiful this moment in your life is. Feel inspired to make long-term plans and know that you'll be successful. It's renewed purpose and having faith in yourself and following your intuition. And then you had the 2 of Michael earlier, but now you also have the Page of Michael. And the Page of Michael, pardon me, it's right here. So the Page of Michael is referring to all of the exciting new challenges. It's talking about how sometimes life can bring you something unexpected but you don't have to worry because you have what it takes, okay? This is about the contracts and things. You don't have to worry about your ability to discern the truth, because your ability to discern the truth is really the only tool you'll need for this particular situation. When something looks too good to be true and you weigh it in your heart and your mind, it might be too good to be true, okay? But some things are. But it's up to you to discern that information, because sometimes things are presented as more than what they really are, and you're going to know the difference. Business or legal contracts will need thorough review. Again, don't hesitate to do some research or ask for assistance from those with the right expertise if it's something that's outside your wheelhouse. Okay? Communicate your plans. It can cause a temporary delay, but with logic and reason, you need to weigh the unpredictable, okay? So that's what we have from the Archangel Power Tarot, and we're going to see if we can pull some information from the Lightworker Oracle Guidebook here. Let's see. What can we add to this reading for Heidi? For Heidi. Can we get some clarification? Thank you. Master Hilarion and Archangel Raphael. So the angels are really speaking to you today. Anything else? Thank you, Spirit Guides. Anything else for our friend Miss Heidi today? Okay, not from this deck. You have to be able to sense if that's all there is, and if you ask in your heart and your mind if there's anything else and you get nothing, not a sense of anything coming, then just let it go, okay? So for this one, Master Hilarion, excuse me, is and Archangel Raphael. So part of your divine purpose can be to develop the power of your mind and using it for healing purposes, okay? If you look here, the angel is standing at the gate of the garden with the bright healing light, the white light, that which we consider the healing light. And it's in a garden that's beautifully in bloom. So if it was talking about destruction or illness, the flowers would not be so vibrant. It would not be a beautiful scene. It would be a dark scene, okay? So this is healing and being a light worker that needs spiritual light, information, understanding, and wisdom. In the same way that human bodies need food, water, and clean air, the hunger for wisdom can push you to seek knowledge, and this can be a healthy impulse. However, if you love knowledge so much that you keep seeking without taking time to digest, integrate, and apply what you've learned, you may end up confused or mentally exhausted. You and I actually had this conversation recently when we were talking about, or at least I think it was you, it could have been someone else. But I had this conversation recently with someone talking about in all they're getting, they needed to get understanding. Building wisdom is fabulous. There's nothing wrong with building wisdom. But you cannot get so wise in your own mind that you fail to implement what you learn. So, we can become forgetful and stressed and mentally fatigued or plodding along when you're usually bright and you need some mental time out. It's from overdoing. So, excuse me, the possibilities are an opening of the mind to new realities and possibilities. Make sure that whatever you learn, that you apply what you've learned. And you may end up confused or mentally exhausted if you just keep going and just spin your wheels. The mind rarely rests except through meditation, and even then, rest is not guaranteed. Resting the mind can be a tricky thing for intellectually oriented or highly creative people. Learning to switch off mentally will help you remember and apply what you're learning so that you grow not only in knowledge but also in wisdom. And that's what we're talking about here. The brain is like a sponge. It's a muscle, but like any muscle, it can get fatigued. And if you don't let it rest, then it won't be able to soak up or retain anything. It just kind of sits in this puddle. You need to, excuse me, you need to absorb a lot of new information, but you need to have that rest so that you can remember it. We dream to remember and we dream to forget. So when you rest at night, when you sleep at night, that's when your body filters, or your mind filters through all the things that it takes in during the day, so that you have the opportunity to really resonate with some of these things. And you may feel that you have so much going on that you don't know where to start. So if you stop to rest, you'll forget and never get through it all. But that's not the case, okay? You've got plenty of time. You need to take the time to go through it at a pace that is comfortable. Don't worry about pressing on too fast, because if you take on too much at first, all at once, then you're likely to fail because you didn't, you missed a lot of the important points along the way, in other words. Pardon me. That oracle also comes with the message that if you're interested in healing that involves the mind, whether this be psychology, psychotherapy, cognitive behavioral therapy, hypnosis, philosophy, something like that you should actually think about exploring it. If you feel inspired to work with your belief systems through affirmations or other techniques for mental programming, such as guided relaxations and meditations, you're encouraged to do this too. Your mind is developed and powerful, and you will work well with those kind of techniques. Sit without distraction of a telephone, computer, mobile phone, any kind of social media. Just take a few moments of silence and just pray for that mental rest. And you may find that you work best in short, productive bursts with mental rest in between. And then if that's the way, then try that for a while and honor that. Be kind to your mind, be kind to your body, make sure that you get all the rest you need. And then you can always call on them to help clear your mind and refresh and give you some mental healing along with the development that you are going through for your life purpose, okay? And I'm going to see if the wisdom of the oracle here has anything for you as well. This is another new deck for me. I really like it, though. It has some pretty nice illustrations. And they're not difficult to read, whereas these can be fairly vague sometimes, in that the pictures don't give you enough information. The illustrations should speak to your heart and soul. And I picked the angel decks specifically for you because you said you were drawn to them. So I wanted to see if they were drawn to you as well. And this is what we have had so far. So hopefully it's resonating with you. And if it doesn't, then take what does and table the rest. Okay, so we're seeing if there's anything here. Looks like they want to talk to you. So we're asking for any information, guidance, clarification, or information for Heidi. Whoop. Any information for Heidi. Clarification, information. Thank you. Unfinished symphony. So here you've got music, and sometimes we're just kind of going along to our own tune. So this may be something that you have considered before and were passionate about, and then you put it on the table and said, I'll get back to it someday. And it could be music, it could be writing, it could be anything. But the unfinished symphony is something that you were developing in your mind, okay? And we'll get back to this. Anything else for Miss Heidi? They're sticking together. It's a little humid here tonight. Is there anything else for Miss Heidi? That would be a yes. I'm going to push those back in because I'm not entirely sure you needed all of those, but we're going to see. Anything else for Miss Heidi? When you ask for volunteers, sometimes it takes a little while. Oh, and thank you. Not for you. Anything else? Yeah. That's a lot. We're not gonna do that tonight. No, okay, well, they're insistent. Okay. Round and abound. Oh, sorry. Round and round. Truth be told. And yang. My goodness. This is kind of a expansion on what we've been talking about in some regards. So the unfinished symphony is talking about unfinished business, an incomplete lesson, lack of closure, the need to make amends. It's time to tie up loose ends as you near the completion of a cycle or project, the mastery of a lesson or a skill, back to the education again. Before you can move forward, it's important that you come to terms with where you are now, okay? Practice radical acceptance. Take inventory so that emotional and psychological closure can occur with the answers that you seek and will be found. You can't move forward if you're leaving things unfinished. Reflect on what has passed so that the symphony can finally end on a high note. And sometimes, we play things in our mind like a broken record. I tell my husband all the time that, you can kick a dead horse better than anybody I ever met, but if you don't take the needle off the broken record and it just keeps skipping, it gets old to listen to. And sometimes we replay that stuff in our mind to the point where it's beyond reflection, and then it's just irritating, okay? So if it's regarding a relationship, it could be moving on, especially when love lingers. Things are left unsaid. You haven't had the opportunity for closure in your relationship or in your heart. You can still feel bound up in relationships when closure is denied to you. It's important to achieve all these things for yourself. So whatever this is applying to for you, declare your feelings, even if it's only to yourself. Be clear about what's left unresolved and close the door. As far as this not being for you, okay, the essential meaning is a clear knowing that something is being denied to you. Rejection is God's protection. Sorry. Sometimes what we ask for is not what we need. So if you were asking for something specifically, just understand that it may not be for you, or it may not be in the right timing, okay? There are times when it appears that no matter how deeply you want something, no matter how hard you work at something, the result you seek always seems to elude you. It's as if you don't really get to be in the game and you feel like you're just watching from the sidelines. The appearance of that card indicates that you're not going to attain what you want right now, that your dreams for that exact thing will not be fulfilled at this moment. That it's a time to radically accept that not everything is available to you when you want it. Take heart, because there are benevolent forces who desire the best for you and have a much clearer idea of what is for your highest good. Rejection is God's protection. Something that you ask for sometimes is, I think there's a song out there, thank God for unanswered prayers, right? Just trust that there's something better, even if it doesn't feel like it right now, okay? If it's in regards to a relationship, some things are obvious from the beginning, but we ignore the red flags, okay? We refuse to acknowledge them because we always think it'll get better, or we can change them, or they'll stop doing that when. But again, just keep in mind that you could be protected by the divine, and again, for every pot there's a lid, and this one may not be the best fit. I like that saying. So you can strategize a project and systemize and invest all your time and energy into a project or a person or a situation, but sometimes your best laid plans, in spite of it all, just kind of fall apart. And keep in mind that no effort is wasted. Fail fast and learn from defeat, and then keep going, because you'll eventually succeed, although perhaps not at this particular game, not at this particular relationship, not at this particular experience or focus. Know when to fold your cards, okay? Don't chase after what flees from you. Don't obsess over what eludes you. Don't bang your head against the wall. There's nothing romantic about what's unavailable. No prize given for torturing yourself, and nothing to be gained by refusing to see the red flags that have been waving at you since you began your pursuit. So surrender and realize that God only wants the best for you. And this is a sign that you have something much better waiting for you. So just trust in that. Round and round. Isn't that a beautiful card? Sometimes we go round and round and round, and it doesn't get us anywhere. And other times we're going around in circles, chasing our own tail, while we're trying to catch a break. But if you revisit the pattern, okay, there's a circle. Okay, it's just a big circle. Sometimes we relive events until we learn a lesson. When you don't integrate the lesson, you repeat the cycles over and over again. And it's a challenge to break. It's difficult to break an old habit. But look at your patterns from a new perspective. Okay, instead of chasing your tail, instead of going round and round and round, look at things from a different perspective and say, why am I doing this? What am I trying to learn? What is Spirit trying to show me in this situation? The truth is that you're standing in a higher place than what you think, and you kind of look down into your circumstances and you learn something, do something better, break a cycle set up in the past. You actually have the ability to see and access that wisdom and learn the lesson when you stop chasing your tail and say, what is it exactly that I'm chasing? What is it exactly that I'm doing here? Okay. How did I get here again? Something feels familiar right now in your dynamic with somebody else. Maybe a little too familiar. Don't be surprised that you found yourself repeating an old story with the same sort of person, the same sort of response, the same sort of outcome, who may not look similar, but who attracted you because of your easy acquaintance with their qualities, okay? Your relationship is a mix of what is good and what is potentially challenging. You've been drawn to this person through the perfection of Spirit's plan for your evolution. You may have circled back to an accustomed spot, a familiar place, but that's fine. As you get to do things again and again and again, you get to perfect it, right? What happens when you practice something is you get really better at it. So hopefully you learn from those challenges and from those lessons. And, if you don't, then you're going to do it again. Truth be told is awesome. Honesty, accepting things at face value, coming out of denial, the willingness to be transparent, clarity of communication. The oracle with the owl. The owl is supposed to be wise and associated with truth. The truth is subjective according to the believer, right? I mean, what we believe to be true is true in our own minds, but it's not necessarily a universal truth. So keep that in mind as well. So with truth be told, it's not time for debate about whose truth is more true. This is a time when you are called to proclaim your truth out loud. Speak your truth. Be transparent, honest, and open in your communication with others and even with yourself. Nothing is surrendering to what is, peeling off the layers of denial like an onion that you keep tied to an illusion. This will set you free. Be authentic. Be gloriously flawed if that's the case. Spirit will answer with miracles, okay? Pardon me. In relationships, people tell you who they are very quickly if you're willing to listen and to not just hear with your ears, but pay attention to what they're not saying. Pay attention to what they're doing, what their actions are, how they behave. This card calls you to engage in heartfelt, open conversation. It's time to see the truth about what you share and tell the truth about who you are and what you need. Being authentically you. Don't change who you are based on your surroundings, okay? Be who you are authentically all of the time, no matter who you're with. Whether it's with your children, your family, don't be, I have to be this person because I'm here. I have to be this person because I'm here. Be you. Be authentically you. Do the best you that you can be and do the best job in that situation, but still be you. Remember, your truth is always based in your personality and your experience. A higher truth will be found after you communicate honestly and see how doing so helps you become more attuned to yourself. Don't hold back. Speak your truth and listen. And if you're willing to do whatever it takes to experience the prosperous life you desire, if you want to be an artist, do you want to make your art a priority? If you want to be a healer, do you set a time aside to learn new things to help you serve? A writer has to write, a singer has to sing. Being true to your calling is essential as you move forward. There's another oracle message here too. It's time to have a look at the real, honest truth about your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs about prosperity, about your relationship to money, to compensation, and to meaningful work. Ask yourself, what is true for me? And you'll find the key to abundance, whatever that is. Where are you being dishonest with yourself? How is it that you feel unhappy in different areas? And if you are, what are you denying? What truth are you denying? What are you not facing in there? It can also be others misleading or withholding or acting with hidden agendas towards you. Now's the time to say no to dishonesty in all forms and ask for the truth. Even if you don't like what you're going to hear, I always say, if you ask me a question, I'm going to tell you the truth. You may not always like the answer, but you'll always get the truth. So maybe that's a good new phrase for you. Okay? And there's yin and there's yang. And you got yang. Okay? We're going to check this out here. I don't think I've ever pulled yang before.